Hello everyone, it's Mike from Chess Lifestyle, and honestly, I was wondering whether to film this video offline, edit it, and then upload it. But I think it's going to be more fun to share this one with you guys live. Basically, I wanted to film a video on my personal experiences in different chess countries, and basically just rank them in a brutal tier list of which countries were good and which countries were bad. So I've got this tier list ready right here, as you can see. These are basically all the countries I visited. We're gonna rank them. I'm gonna share some nice stories for you guys. Before we get into the video, I just want to mention two things. So let's go back to the yapping overlay. But basically, I'm feeling very unhinged right now because I haven't eaten all day, and it's like almost 6 p.m. So that's only going to make this stream even better. But also, I just taught a lesson just now, and I thought it was just a really brilliant lesson. Like somehow, without the student telling me what he needed to work on, I kind of predicted exactly what I knew he wanted to work on. And then, like, the way the lesson went, it was just like such great advice, how it all linked together, and it was just a really good lesson. So I'm like using the momentum from that to do my Monday stream. The second thing I wanted to mention was the reason why I'm not training today is because tomorrow I'm going to be catching a flight to Chiang Mai, which is another city in Thailand, and I'm basically going to be visiting a very hippie friend of mine. And I think we're going to get up to very hippie activities. So I don't think I'm going to be doing much chess, which is probably Wednesday will be like some very unhinged, no chess training stream, I imagine. Since, I'm not training for the next few days, I may as well relax today as well and just stream like a fun video for you guys. And also, we just finished playing that FIDE Blitz tournament where I scored 7 out of 9. So I think, I deserve to have some rest and just relax a bit. And then after I come back from Chiang Mai, we can restart the training properly. Without further ado, let's get into this tier list. So feel free to join the live stream. I will just get chat up we can go. So, basically this list of countries, these are basically all the countries I visited for chess purposes. And I've also ranked them in chronological order right now of when I visited the countries. So I'll scroll this right above so I'm not blocking any. So how many countries have I been to for chess then? 3, 6, 7, 8, 16, 18 countries. Okay. So I'm not sure if that's more than I expected or less. And also for the tier list, I decided to go S, A, B, C, D, and F because at first, when I was thinking about it, I was like, there's no countries in the F tier that I've been to, but actually there are. So we're going to get some spicy hot takes on which countries belong in F tier. Let's get into it. So for anyone who's new to the channel, in case, on the off chance that this video blows up because I've actually put some effort into the thumbnail for once, I'm a 2000 rated player from the UK. I'm a chess teacher, chess player, chess organizer, chess content creator, whatever chess you can imagine, I'm doing it. And I started when I was around 10, and I probably got more competitive around the age of 12. And I only traveled abroad for chess around the age of 14. I think that was closer to when I was making the England team, maybe 15 years old. I'd gotten onto the England team, and that's basically when I was first traveling abroad. So we can see my FIDE goes all the way back until 2014. So that's around 15, 16, probably 15 years old for me. What I wanted to do was actually, I'm going to put England last because Yeah, I can spend honestly the whole stream just talking about chess in the UK, and probably that's not as interesting. So we'll start with the first country where I ever went abroad, and then we'll go along from there. I actually haven't thought about exactly where I'm ranking these countries. I'm just gonna go with the flow on them. So Latvia. What can we say about Latvia? So Latvia was actually the first country I ever traveled abroad to. This was actually with the England junior team, so I just managed to get into the team. And this was a small select group. I'm not exactly what were the exact requirements of who got selected. It was probably also who could, like, I don't know, dish out the money to go along on the trip. But also it wasn't too much, I'm pretty sure. I mean, we basically went to Riga. It was just a small group of kids. And yeah, the man who organized it was a guy called John Foley, who was working with the England team back then. And yeah, I've luckily, I found on my Facebook, I actually had a little folder of some different pictures, and here you can see the Riga Chess Club where I was participating in. I have no idea what's being shown on the board here, but you can see I've got like a paper and pen, and in this chess camp we would be like writing answers and contributing, and I never stayed in touch with any of the kids that I met in the Riga Chess Club. I remember their faces actually, but I never stayed in touch. I'd love to find out like how they're doing. But it was a really great trip. I also played my first international tournament. It was just a blitz event of 11 rounds. I did absolutely trash. I think I scored like 3 out of 11. And I remember one of the games I actually lost when I was completely winning, like I don't know, like piece and a rook up or something. But FIDE had just introduced that for Blitz and Rapid, one illegal move loses. And my opponent put me in a check. I didn't notice it. I made a move and I lost. And I was so distraught because I was playing like a decent player and I lost. And I just couldn't believe it. But okay, I was there for the vibes. I had a good time. And yeah, the people at the club were super friendly. I remember some guy there who was like had invented his own variation of the Latvian gambit. Like a guy from Latvia, can you imagine? And I remember he was like showing me it and saying that, yeah, like Engine says it's bad, but this is still really good. And, you know, I don't know if he still plays it. But yeah, my experience of the Latvia chess scene was really, really fun. The organization at the club was really great. But it's tough for me to really put it on the tier list in the sense that, like, I was a kid. I had this very, like, specific, like, time when I was there, and I don't really know what the chess scene is like. So for me, it either gets a B or an A, but I'm probably going to put it in B because it was good. But yeah, I don't really know much about the chess scene, to be honest. I mean, I was like 14, 15 at the time, and just focusing on this one training camp. The people were really great, really friendly, but yeah, B tier for me. So the next country on the list is Gibraltar, and Gibraltar. This is a really warm memories actually, and I think back in the day you had this like big Gibraltar international tournament, but there was also this very big Gibraltar Junior international tournament, and this junior event, I think it took place like maybe a week or two before the main Gibraltar international event, and this was also like a really big kind of festival. I mean, like you had like some simultaneous events, like some classes, and there was so much drama that took place on this trip. But this was really the first time because Latvia I went with my parents and my sister. They came along with me, but Gibraltar was the first time I went abroad alone. Like abroad to any country for that matter. I mean, I went on some school trips, but this was still with like supervision of teachers and stuff. But Gibraltar, oh my god, this is the first time I'm going alone abroad, and I absolutely loved it. I mean, basically this was in the hotel where I think like the Gibraltar International is held, and basically we all got to stay in like rooms of like 3 people, and I was staying in a room with a couple of my friends, Jackson and Anantha. And yeah, we can see actually like this was a guy called Mark. who I don't know, we locked him outside, and I guess he wasn't so happy about it. But okay, it's all good fun. We're laughing about it. Like I'm not a bully, just to clarify. But yeah, like we had really good fun. Like we went on some like excursions as well. We saw some like really beautiful caves. And there was so much that happened on this trip. I mean, it was really like a first time for me, like basically just being able to explore on my own. And actually, in terms of chess, it was fantastic for me. I actually came joint fourth. You can see in this very botched photo taken of me. Like I'm actually wearing a tie. That's hilarious. You can see this is Stephen Watley, who I believe is like either a CM or an FM, and you got Jonathan Payne here, who's an FM. And yeah, I think we were all like near the top. I know the winner was actually this player called Leonard Leniers or something like this Belgian. I think he's an international master now, but he was the number one seed. And actually, I was playing Leonard in the final round. I was on board one going into the final round. If I had won the final round, I would have come first. Can you imagine? So I think actually us four guys, we must have come like joint fourth or something, because I remember Leonard Leniers from Belgium was first, and this young Spanish guy who I thought was playing some really awesome chess. Like he was second, and then someone must have come third, and then I think we came joint fourth. So you can see the caliber was quite high even back then. Like we've got Stephen Watley and Jonathan Payne coming joint fourth with me. So I had a fantastic tournament, and yeah, it was a really, really great time. I mean, basically, this was like the private beach behind the hotel, and I've actually got a chess story I wanted to share because it's a really funny one. And actually, at the time when this happened, this was literally peak Michael moment in his life. Like he was so gassed from this experience. And I mean, if any of you have been to like a boys' school or like been on some kind of lads trip, you can imagine how much hype there was about this one moment. Full disclaimer, yeah, this thing that I'm gonna share is like, it's a really like bad thing. Like I should never have done it. Like, you know, it's I would never do it now, obviously. But you know, as a 14, 15-year-old kid, like you're just high on the adrenaline of such a moment, and I had to do it, right? So we're on the beach, right? And we're walking like as a group of us, like, you know, chess 14, 15-year-olds, maybe a bit younger, maybe a couple a bit older. And I don't know who brings it up, but someone brings up the fact that someone should go try a pickup line on one of the girls in the beach. Because this wasn't just like a chess beach. This was like but loads of people staying at the hotel, like people of all ages, right? And basically, I don't know why, like I guess I always had a bit of confidence and a bit of just spontaneity even back then. And I was just like, you know what, guys, I'll do it. Like I'll go like try a pickup line on a girl, right? So everyone's like super gassed about this. Like everyone's like really hyped up to see like if I'll actually do it, right? So I start walking on this beach, and then like one of my friends, like I can't remember who, but one of them like pointed to this group of girls who are like sunbathing, and they must have been like 16, 17. I think they weren't much older than us, but they were definitely older. And yeah, in fairness, they were like really hot, right? They were really, really good looking. So I was like shitting myself. I was like, you know what? Why did I do this? I can still bail. But I basically went up to them, and I looked at one of the girls, and I said to her like, oh, do you speak English? And she was really nice, right? She was like, oh yeah, like I speak English. Like, what's up? And I said to her, oh my god, I can't even, I don't even know if I can even say this anymore. But I said to her, so, right, she's like really nice figure, but like, I guess a little bit on like the plump side, right? And I say to her, I'm skinny, you're fat, opposites attract, can I get a kiss? I just went in with that. I'm pretty sure that was it, word for word. And her jaw just dropped. And at the same time, her girlfriends were with her as well. And then like her boyfriends, I guess, like from behind, all stood up, and these guys were like jacked. Like they must have been like 17, 18 years old, and they're a good looking bunch, right? So at this point, like me and all my friends, we just like burst out laughing, and we just peg it. We just run. We just leg it like you just keep running and keep running, and then okay, like they don't end up like chasing us or anything. But I think at that moment, like yeah, young Michael had peaked. I gained like so much respect from the chess team for like just pulling this one out of the bag. And yeah, from then it was like it was like really good memories, like lots of like mini parties at the dorms and stuff, and yeah, just a really amazing trip, right? So yeah, I wanted to share this one with you guys. And yeah, for that reason, because Gibraltar as well like has like the Gibraltar International. I mean, I'm gonna put it in A tier just because of how it used to be. I mean, the problem nowadays is that the Gibraltar International Tournament actually stopped running as an event. And also the Gibraltar Junior International stopped as well as a result. And that's why probably nowadays, I'd have to put it like B or C. But okay, in terms of like, the legacy of the Gibraltar International Tournament. And I mean, you'll hear like David Howell or, all of these top players like talk about Gibraltar in like a really warm light because, yeah, back in the day, it really was one of the big international tournaments you go to. A bit like Tata Steel, but even better. Like Gibraltar was just like the place to be for international chess. Yeah, so yeah, that was Gibraltar. Yeah, really good times. Actually, Mark was the guy who got knocked out. He was really strong, and I played him round one, and I managed to beat him. And this was like this kickstarted my whole event. So yeah, I'm glad I won that. Now the next tournament I ever played in abroad was actually in the US, and this was like a few more years older than I was. So I think I was like maybe 17, 18. And I was basically on a family trip to California. And we visited San Diego. And while we were in San Diego, we stopped by the San Diego Chess Club. And just so happened, there was a Blitz tournament taking place. And, I didn't have a USCF rating, but the guys there were very friendly. This was like the San Diego Chess Club, I guess. And they just signed me up. They made a USCF account just before the event. I guess, they didn't have to. They could have just said no, but they're really, really friendly. I ended up playing. And as you can see here, I actually have an official USCF rating, Blitz rating, of 1997. And it's funny how they should say based on 15 games, because I definitely did not play 15 games. I think I only played like either 9 games or something like this. But it was accelerated pairings. And the funny thing about this was, at around this kind of time, I was experimenting a lot with, I guess, different performance-enhancing substances. Let's put it that way. And at this time, like I was trying caffeine. Like I really wanted to give caffeine a shot and see like how it affects me. And yeah, I was like proper like hyped up from the caffeine. And I remember I was playing and I won like 5 out of 6. Like my first 6 rounds, I was on 5 out of 6. And the people around me were talking to me and they're like, bro, you're going to have the most insane provisional Blitz rating ever. Because like I was playing like, I guess 1900s. I was on 5 out of 6. So this is probably like 2300 provisional. But yeah, in like the 7th round, I'm playing the highest rated player at the club, who's like a FIDE master. And I am an exchanging a pawn up, it's a Reti. And I end up losing. And as a result of losing, I then go on tilt. I lose the last 2 games. I think the caffeine was starting to get to my head. And I finish on like 5 out of 9. I get a provisional of 1997. But really, yeah, if I had beaten the FM, who was like 2300, and converted my exchange in a pawn up, I basically panicked when I was exchanging a pawn up. I didn't know what to do. I was just stressed out, and I ended up choking it. But if I'd won that and won the rest, I mean, I could have had like a 2300 provisional Blitz USCF. That would be really cool to have. But yeah, I mean, in terms of like the US, if I can put it on this tier list, I mean, yeah, in terms of San Diego club, like huge thumbs up. I mean, I'd have to give it like probably A, because like it's just um, yeah, it was really really great. Have nothing bad to say. I would say the downside of US chess in general is the fact that the tournaments are a bit whack, like the classical tournaments. I mean, they bunch a lot of games in a short amount of time, maybe even 3 rounds a day. I wonder if they've even done 4 rounds a day. I wouldn't be surprised if they've done that, like classical games. And they also have these all kinds of like, people can play different number of rounds, and I don't really feel like it gets the same kind of hype feeling as like, let's say, a round by round tournament that we have in like Europe or in the UK. So that's a bit of a negative for me. I would also say that it's a little old-fashioned with how things are run. As you can see, like, the USCF rating is a bit outdated, and also, they don't really have leagues because, the US is so big that, you don't really get... it's so spaced out that it's harder to like arrange like these kind of leagues. And when I come to the UK, England on this tier list, I'm going to talk all about like the kind of chess leagues that take place, which really elevate the kind of scene in the UK. So yeah, in terms of like the overall scene, I would say that then the US is a bit worse, but then okay, you've also got the positives in the sense that like you got like St. Louis, which is like, this amazing capital and hub of chess, which I'm sure is absolutely bustling. Like I really would love to visit one day. Yeah, they also have a really great like youth development program. Like they've got like chess degrees at university level even, where they're really like trying to improve like players in the US. And I mean, compared to the UK and other European countries, we're severely lacking in this area. So for me, it gets either A or a B tier. I think I'm gonna have to give it A. Based on all of that. So US gets an A tier from me. And yeah, I got a blitz rating from the San Diego Chess Club, so that was a lot of hype. We then move on to Italy, and as you can see here, this is me at 18. Had a bit of a tragic haircut at the time, but yeah, this tournament, I was basically playing in the Ischia Chess Open, which was for 1900 ELO and above, and this was actually one of my best tournaments ever as a player. Like this was back in 2019, and yeah, I had a performance rating of 2250. You can see like, okay, the field wasn't too strong. I mean, this was basically some island off the coast of Naples, and yeah, the standard wasn't like that high, but still to score 5.5 out of 7, this was really nice. And yeah, I won this first place prize, and to be honest, out of all of the chess trophies I've ever won, I think these are the nicest. And I remember actually when I was being awarded the trophies, the organizers actually asked me, do you want this second trophy for best under 2100? And I was like, hell yeah, I do. Like, I ain't giving this to someone else. I am the best under 2100 as well. I want it. So yeah, I took both. I took the money, and yeah, that was my experience. I mean, when I put it in a tier list though for chess, I only ever played at this Ischia event. I mean, the event was super nice. Like, it was really chill. It was all at the hotel. The hotel was quite affordable. The island was beautiful. Honestly, the best looking men and women I've ever seen in the world on this island in off the coast of Naples. Like, I swear to God, like whatever gene pool they have there was pretty damn good. But yeah, I would say, unfortunately, again, like back then, I feel like I didn't really like make that much of an effort to like kind of find out more about the chess scene, like compared to what I do nowadays. So I don't really know how the chess scene was. I know that they have like some nice websites to really keep track of like all the results and all of like the tournaments. So it's very easy to find your way around the tournament scene in Italy. And yeah, in terms of the tournament, I really liked how, they had all of their pieces. They had a lot of their own Italian pieces. They had a lot of space. The organization was very well run. Really zero complaints whatsoever. They also like really respected the rating groups, because there was an A group and a B group, and the A group was for 1900 plus, and yeah, they really had like everyone at this level. They didn't have like some 1700 juniors. So yeah, like basically Italy. I think it definitely gets a B. Definitely gets a B. I'd be pushing it to put it in an A, but yeah, definitely no lower than a B. So I think definitely gets the B tier. Welcome, Jewel Shu. So you fit right in. Okay, is this some W Riz right here for me and Ischia? No, I did not fit right in. I mean, like these guys were, it's unbelievable. And I mean, it's funny because I think I was in first year of uni at the time, and on my course, so I was doing like molecular biology at uni. There was an Italian guy, and he got a lot of hype, right? Because he was a pretty good-looking lad. But after going to Ischia, I was like, holy shit, he's just average. He's just average on this island, right? Like I mean, Italians just have really good genes, right? So at least okay, like people from this area that I visited, right? So yeah, this was cool. But yeah, this was a great tournament for me, and this actually kind of, I mean, I made a video on this, like what led to me becoming a chess professional, something like this, and I talk all about this tournament. So if you're interested to hear more, then I share it there. But yeah, this was a great event for me, and yeah, Italy was some good memories for chess. Okay, now we get onto Bulgaria, and this was a little collage I made. Like I found it on my Facebook. And holy crap, this was such an event. This was in 2019. This was Sunny Beach, a few months after Italy, and yeah, it was just wild. I mean, you can see some of the scenes, right? Like, holy shit, we've got Brexit before I even knew what Brexit meant. We've got Bulgarian parents taking their 4-year-olds to the nightclub and clubbing with alcohol everywhere, everyone drunk, and just bring their 4-year-olds in to the dance floor. We have midnight games of Wizard. We have me and Ellen clubbing into the night. We've got Ezra here and Martin absolutely plastered. We've got Holden and Nick having like probably 10 shots for 10 euros. And yeah, just having a really good time. And I mean, the chess as well was a really good vibe. I mean, it was like in Sunny Beach. It was by the beach, obviously. And yeah, it was fun. I mean, but I think, to be honest, the reason why I have such fond memories of this trip were more because of the stuff that went on outside of the chess, not the chess itself. And unfortunately for Bulgaria, I have to knock it down a tier because I did visit Bulgaria actually on a layover. I had like maybe like a 12-hour layover in Bulgaria, like a few years later. And what am I going to do for 12 hours? Of course, I'm going to go to the park where people play chess and play some street chess, right? I wanna like maybe play some people, bet some euros, whatever, and just have some fun, right? And I go to this park in Bulgaria. I can't remember the name of it, but it's the main one for chess. And nobody would let me play. Everyone was Bulgarian. Everyone like had their own groups. No one was interested in playing with me. And the only guy who did was like a hustler. So we bet 2 euros on the game. Like, it's very clear that we're betting 2 euros on the game. And after the game, it was a really close game. I mean, he must be like a 2000 player as well. But I managed to win, right? I managed to win. So, yeah, I'm like, I shake his hand. I'm like, oh, it's a good game. And then like, I put out my hand for the 2 euros. And then he just looks at me. And he does this, right? He puts out his hand and points to his hand. And I'm like, no, but I won. We had a bet. And he said, no, 2 euros to play. And I was like, are you actually serious? I mean, why would I pay you 2 euros to play? We just bet 2 euros on this. So, of course, like, I don't give the guy the money. But, of course, he doesn't give me the money because he thinks that we've agreed 2 euros to play. He's basically just... he's a hustler, right? He's bailing out and he doesn't want to lose his 2 euros. So whatever, screw that guy. But yeah, that's probably the worst chess experience I've had in terms of street chess, like at a chess park. So for that reason, because Sunny Beach was good, not really for the chess, and because I had this like dead experience with like the local Bulgarians, unfortunately, I think I have to put it C or D. I'm gonna be harsh. I'm gonna put it in D. I'm gonna put it in D. I mean, Sunny Beach was really an exception, and I mean, to me, the reason why Sunny Beach was so great was unfortunately not because of the Bulgarians, because Sunny Beach was such an international place. Like the kind of clubs that were there, it was the most warm experience because I mean, having come from London, right? After a first year in London where, I had been out a lot of clubbing. The thing is, in the UK, when you go out clubbing, you end up going in a group. Maybe you mingle with some other groups if you're having a really good night and if you're feeling like an absolute beast on the dance floor and you manage to like network and you make it happen. I've done it, but in general, you basically go out in your group, you club with your group, and you go home with your group, right? But in this sunny beach, Bulgaria, everyone mingled with everyone because there were people from Belgium, France, Germany, every single European country, you name it, they were there clubbing. And that meant like it was so nice because no one was kind of cliquey. Everyone was kind of like warm and friendly and just down to hear your story. You were down to hear their story. So yeah, Sunny Beach was a beautiful place. I don't know if it's still as good as it used to be. But yeah, what a place. What a place. But unfortunately for the chess, I'm gonna put Bulgaria in D. Now we come to Serbia. So Serbia, this was basically when I grew my hair out. I started to adventure a lot more. I got much more into climbing, and I would actually climb buildings and stuff, and oh, it was so much fun. And yeah, I have some. To be honest, I just couldn't be bothered to like pull up any chess photos. Like it would take too much effort to find. But I had like some chess vlogs from back in the day on the channel where you can watch my experiences of chess in Serbia. But yeah, this was when I was like now, I guess like must have been like third year of uni or something like that. Third year. And I played in the Serbia Open, and I also played in Paracin. And Paracin is a small town. There's kind of not much to do there. The chess event that takes place there every year is kind of like the biggest thing for Paracin. So it brings in a lot of tourism. And honestly, Serbia as a place is one of my favorite countries in the world because I don't know what it is. I think it's like the extrovertedness of the people. Also the laid back, don't give a fuck kind of mentality of the people. And also it's just a really nice place. Like Belgrade is just like a really bustling city. It doesn't feel like it's overpriced. It doesn't feel like it's got a dead scene. People are generally very friendly. Whenever I tell that to anyone Serbian, they'd say like they're friendly because they think that they can take your money. But I really don't see it that way. Like I really made some really nice friends in Serbia. And in terms of the actual chess, I enjoyed it. I mean, okay, they have a very small chess park, which, isn't really, it's by the main Kalamegda castle. It's not really a big chess scene there. But I know that they have like this kind of like young adult club, like active club that does like table tennis and chess, which looks like a real vibe. And the tournaments I always played in were extremely professionally well run. I mean, leaps and bounds beyond whatever anyone has organized in the UK. And yeah, it's a vibe. And I mean, like I've made many friends, chess friends as well. And the chess tournaments were always a vibe. I mean, it'd definitely be an A tier place. I don't think, could I even give it S tier for that? I mean, the reason why I definitely can't give it S tier is because nowadays in Serbia, when you play an event like the Serbia Open, you may as well just call it the All India International Open because basically there are so many players from India that come, but not only India, but also like Mongolia. You've got players from Kazakhstan. And the reason why they can come to Serbia and play in the Opens is because firstly, they're good quality, but secondly, it's not Europe. So they don't have to get some, like, it's not like in the EU, right? So in Serbia, you don't have to get like as strict visas to get in for these countries from Asia. So that's why a lot of Asian countries come to Serbia to play. And that means the tournaments are damn tough because, I mean, if you know anything about FIDE ratings, like the ratings from like Kazakhstan, Mongolia, India, they're far more deflated than in Europe, right? So unfortunately, that makes the chess scene a lot more rough. And I think that means it's not S tier, but A tier. I think Serbia gets an A tier from me, to be honest. I mean, it's like, okay, a lot of the things I mentioned that were good about Serbia are not necessarily the chess, but somehow those things come into the chess, and like the chess scene ends up becoming lit as a result. So I think Belgrade, even Paracin, like, yeah, really, really good times, really good memories. So, yeah. And yeah, while I'm still in this phase of like, climbing buildings and being this adventurous man, I also went to Belgium. And in Belgium, I played in the Brugge Masters. I have a very good chess friend from Belgium. Actually, I've got many, many good chess friends from Belgium. I could probably do a whole video on that, which would be a really random video, but I don't know, could do. But yeah, probably my closest friend from Belgium is a guy called Steven. And yeah, we've trained chess, we've played chess tournaments together, and he's actually from Bruges. He grew up in Bruges, so we played in the Bruges Masters there. I had a very, very good event. This was where I used to play the Wing Gambit a lot, and I beat a FIDE master, and I beat two 2100s. I think one of them was a WIM, Hannah Gruesens, the best female player in Belgium. And I beat them all with the Wing Gambit. I think I scored 5 out of 9 in this Open. And yeah, had a great event. And I would say Belgium, what I like about it is that they have the chess leagues that they have in the UK. There definitely feels like there's a sense of different clubs and some atmosphere in the clubs. In terms of the tournaments, I don't think they're anywhere near as well run as like the Serbia tournaments, and I don't think they've got the kind of infrastructure that the US might have in terms of engineering top talents. And although I had some great times in Belgium, but I'm debating between B and A just based on the fact that the people I've met, the chess players I've met in Belgium, they're all such lads. They're all just so great. So I think the people are going to bring it up to an A tier for Belgium. I think I've honestly met, I probably am good friends with 10 Belgium chess players, and they've all delivered. All in their own ways. They're very, you don't get all the same kind of people as well. You've got different kind of, personalities, different kind of, vibes, and everyone in their own way I've gelled with really well. So, yeah, Belgium gets an A tier, and it's close to B or A, but they get the A because of the chess people. I really like the chess players in Belgium. Now we have Germany. So Germany, I first went to for chess for Dortmund, and actually I played in the Dortmund Open 3 years, so clearly it was an event worth coming back to. I mean, the reason why I would come back to Germany, what is this? Oh, this is Netherlands, so we'll get there. But yeah, so the reason why this is actually in Bosnia, I think. This was when I was traveling in the Balkans after the Serbia Open, and I don't know where this was, but yeah, I was doing a lot of climbing. So I wore a lot of black as well. But yeah, anyway. Germany, I would play in the Dortmund Open. And the reason why I would always come back to the Dortmund Open is because I kind of developed a nice routine with a good chess friend of mine called Sven. And Sven didn't live in Dortmund, but he lived close enough, so we would go together. And sometimes Sven would invite some of his friends. I became friends with them as well. And yeah, it was always a good trip. And I mean, what I like about Germany as well is they have the leagues. They also have probably the best league in the world, the Schach Bundesliga, which encourages a lot of strong players to play. And yeah, I really like Germany, actually. The people are very friendly, actually. They get the stereotype of being quite serious, but on one hand, yeah, maybe they are a little bit more serious about certain things. And follow the rules a bit more, right? But in terms of friendliness, top tier, right? So always had really good times with the people I've met in Germany in the chess scene. I also like the fact that they have some leagues, they have some clubs, they have some culture in those clubs, and it seems to be a decent chess atmosphere. It definitely doesn't have the kind of raising the youth like the US does. And I would say in terms of my memories, they were really great. But in terms of chess memories, I feel like maybe like let's say Gibraltar or Serbia, they kind of like beat Germany, I would say, in terms of like the raw chess, like what makes it a real good chess scene, right? So I think for that reason it comes B. It comes B tier for Germany. But it's close, B or A, I think. And then, oh, this is good. We have Croatia. And Croatia, I went to Zagreb. For the record, guys, I'm getting very hungry because I haven't eaten all day, but I'm going to try and get to the end of this video, and then I'm going to go to my favorite Thai place. Wait, it's 6:48. What time does the Thai place close? Oh my god. I swear to god, if I have to choose between making this video and getting this favorite Thai food, please say it closes at 8, not 7. Wait. This is actually really important, guys. This is really important. Oh my god. I've been craving this. Oh, it closes at 8. Let's go. Okay, I'll have to round this video up and then run to my favorite Thai place because I need my fix of noodles and rice. Like it's so good and it's so cheap. I paid like £3 for like 2 main courses and I just stuffed myself. It's delicious. But yeah, back to the tier list. So Croatia, I played in the European Individual Amateur Championships in Zagreb, and basically I had the worst chess experience of my life. Like not because of like the games I played, and not all the chess players I met were like just, you know, standoffish and rude. But holy crap, there's a problem in Zagreb. I swear to God. I mean, maybe it's like the 2 types of personality, right? One type of personality gets on well in Serbia, and one type of personality gets on well with Croatia. Because genuinely, like the most aggressive kind of atmosphere I've ever experienced in Zagreb, and so many uncalled for, unfriendly moments. Like, to give an example, like for instance, let's say you're catching a bus, right? And let's say the bus you see in the distance, and you start running to the bus stop, and let's say you're 1 meter away from the bus stop and you put your hand out, what would you expect? You expect the bus to slow down and stop, right? But in Zagreb, no, they'll just keep driving. Because if you are not standing on exactly the bus stop, law is law and they will not stop. So basically there's no like kind of like no friendliness to people. Like another example, for instance, I got off a flight. It was really late. I was with Steven as well. And everywhere was closed, right? The only place that was open was a McDonald's that was open until 1 a.m., right? So me and Steven, we trek like, I don't know, like half an hour 45-minute walk to this McDonald's, right? It's in the middle of the nowhere. It's open till 1 a.m. And we get there. And the McDonald's is closed at like 11 p.m. But we noticed the drive-thru is open. So we realized, the drive-thru must be open later. The main McDonald's is closed. So we get there and we're like, guys, we're so sorry. Like, I understand the place is closed, but the drive-thru is open. Can we order a burger? We've walked half an, and they're just like, no. They're just like, and we're just like, okay, fine. I mean, you know, you've got no other customers here. Clearly, the kitchen is still open for another like half an hour, 45 minutes. And you can't serve us, like, fine. And they were like, you need to be in a car. So we start walking away, and I think like, well, what counts as a car, right? A car deserves 4 wheels, right? So I get in a trolley. There's some abandoned trolley in like the car park. Steven pushes me, we go back, and yeah, the girls working at the McDonald's, they're like laughing, and the guy who we were speaking to, he was just so angry. He was so angry. He was like, "Oh, you think you're so funny? Like you think you're so cool? Like yeah, like get the fuck out. Like law is law. Like and okay, I understand. Like I don't know. Like yeah, maybe it's not funny to him or something. But come on, just give us some fries at least. I mean, like we've literally walked all this way, and anyway, they weren't having any of it. So basically, there was a huge clash of personalities, or I don't even know. But unfortunately, yeah, Croatia, it wasn't great. I guess the tournament wasn't bad, but it definitely wasn't organized so well. I mean, the one good thing that I got out of Croatia was I became a FIDE instructor there, and I had the most amazing training seminar from Ivan Sokolov, one of the best chess coaches in the world, and Jankovic, which is one of the best Serbian coaches. So it was a really, really great experience in that regard. But in terms of the chess scene, you know what? I've got to be harsh here. I'm going to give it F tier. I'm going to have to give it F tier. I mean, maybe it's too harsh. Maybe I'm not knowledgeable enough to give a overall uh, uh, depiction of Croatian chess. But my experience, like even this kind of like aggressiveness from the people, it kind of translated into the people in chess as well. I yeah, unfortunately, someone has to take bite the bullet, and that's going to be Croatia for this one. Do you usually stay in hostels when you play abroad? So, I have done. Actually, the first time I was playing in Serbia, I stayed in like a super cheap hostel, which I wouldn't recommend because ultimately, to play well in chess, you need to basically be well rested, right? And if you're in some noisy hostel with mosquitoes and no aircon, I mean, good luck, right? It's tough. So I wouldn't recommend hostels. I'd recommend going with some friends because you need emotional support, and just book an Airbnb where you share the Airbnb and it becomes cheap as a hostel anyway. That's the ideal way to do it. I never book with the organization. The only time I did that was like the first time I went abroad when I played in this Italian tournament. And okay, the perks of staying at the hotel is that normally the hotels are quite nice and you basically have to wake up, roll out of bed, and go downstairs and you're at the venue, right? And it's very nice as well because if you have like double rounds, you can basically just go back to your room, rest, you can prep in your room. It's very, very nice. Like when I played 4NCL, you always stay in the building, and it's very nice to stay in the building. But the problem is it's a lot more expensive. So I think just split Airbnb with some friends, and it's a really good time. Just choose. I mean, I'm very good at booking Airbnbs now. I must have booked like 50, 100 in my life, and I know what to look out for. So I normally get a good deal, and I find a good place. I don't have any problems. Germany, Peter, I'm unfollowing. I am so sorry, Jan, but yeah, you'll have to watch back for the reasons. Yeah, you're right about emotional support. It's so important for chess tournaments. But okay, next we have the Netherlands. And here, speaking of Airbnb, I wanted to bring up Airbnb because I stayed in a boat. How cool is that? Like, it was like the second cheapest Airbnb I could find in Groningen because it was really expensive. Again, I went with Steven, and we stayed in this boat. It was so lit. We actually wanted to come with a couple other friends, but unfortunately they bailed last minute. So actually, this was one of the more expensive Airbnbs that we had. But what a time! Like getting to stay on a boat. Never stayed on a boat in my life. And yeah, we also integrated with the local chess scene in Groningen. This was a lot of fun. I also had a very good tournament in Groningen as well. I mean, I actually beat some players who are now much stronger. I know Kobe Smeets. I think he's 2300, and yeah, no, I had a decent tournament, 3 out of 5 against all 2000s. Yeah, I gained 25 points. Yeah, and I remember actually at this moment, I really cared about chess, like not just about like being good, but just about the game. Like I really believed a lot in it, and I was playing like really ambitious stuff like Sveshnikov for black and playing e4 for white, and I really had a lot of belief in the game. Of course, like I have some tournaments later that completely ruined my belief and love for the game and the beauty of the game, but whatever. I mean, in the moment, I was really loving it. Groningen was a great vibe. I actually later came back to Groningen to visit a friend for non-chess reasons and had a great time in Groningen as well. But I definitely felt that, like, yeah, compared to definitely not A tier. I can't put my finger on why. And I think it doesn't beat like Germany, Italy or Latvia either for the kind of like maybe the culture there, you know? Like that's my feeling. So I think it gets a very solid C tier for me, the Netherlands. And yeah, then we have my tournament in Minorca, which was an absolute nightmare. And actually, of tournaments, like holy crap, their marketing of Minorca made it sound like some paradise. And yo, the Minorca tournament is held. It's held in like springtime, so it's not even that warm. And it's held in like some abandoned resort that no longer is like vibes. Like I swear to God, like the Minorca event, you've got like the two main cities in Minorca. You've got like Citadea and Mahon, and they're opposite ends of the island. And it looks like the tournament is held in Citadea, but actually you have to take like an hour bus from the venue to Citadea, so it's really inconvenient. And yeah, no, like the area is like really dead, and you're eating the same crappy food like every day, like some trash pizza. Like yeah, the Minorca tournament, don't go to it. It's not worth it. Um, and yeah, Spain for chess. I mean, I've heard. I mean, they run many good tournaments, but also I've heard many bad things about the tournaments. I've heard like at like Sunway Sitges, I know of people who got their belongings stolen, and the chess organizers didn't do enough to really warn the people, even though it was a prevailing thing that happened actually each year, right? So this is a really bad thing. Also, it's a really risky place to kind of play chess because you get like Indian players who are like camping out in Barcelona for months on end in the summer, just playing every summer tournament and basically gaining 400 elo and then heading home, losing all the elo and then coming back and gaining 400 elo, and it's rough. So I haven't had the best experience with Spanish chess. I did make a very very good friend from Spain, who lives in a town near Bilbao, and I would love to visit him someday. And why am I forgetting his name? I want to say it's Azeus, but I think it might be something slightly similar that's different. But anyway, I want to visit him because yeah, we met in Minorca. He's a really cool guy, and yeah, like actually, like when I was deciding this trip abroad, right, this year of travel that I'm doing in like Malaysia, Thailand, and beyond, I was considering whether to do a Europe one, and I think I would Asia. I would be down to stay with Asia in Spain. So maybe Spain can get an upgrade, but in terms of my experience, the things I've heard about Spain, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to give it a D tier for now, which is really harsh, but I think from my experience, this is where it goes. Yeah, I mean, okay, one highlight of Spain was meeting Hans Niemann. That was really really a vibe. But okay, I mean, I can't put Spain any higher just because of that. Then we have Macedonia, and Macedonia, I have very very warm feelings about Macedonia because everyone I've met in Macedonia who's a chess player, absolute legend, like genuinely absolute legend. Like the outlook at life, the way they view chess, like it's all vibes, absolute vibes. I've organized a training camp there with a very good friend of mine, Nicola. I have also I've not competed there, but I somehow know like all of the Macedonian top players. Like we ended up playing, and they're just so generous, like so generous with their time, so generous with their like chess advice. And every time I've been to Skopje, like really really good time. I also went to Struga, this beach town, to meet some friends there. It's just, like honestly, really really high up there. I mean, it's really either S tier or A tier. The thing is, I don't think I can quite put it in S tier, just because, I mean, in terms of personal experience, I think it really is S tier. Okay, North Macedonia, fine, North Macedonia. I mean, there isn't a South Macedonia, so I just say Macedonia, right? But yeah, like, I would say that, I don't know, in its own right, it deserves an S tier because sure, it doesn't have like the same kind of like development as like these top junior players, and it doesn't have like some big hub like, let's say, St. Louis. But in terms of like the players that have come out from Macedonia, I think they really have a good experience of chess, right? Like they really play some nice chess, nice stylistic chess. It's really a vibe there, you know, like, nah, I can't give it S tier. Like I've had a great time, but it can only go A tier. It can only go A tier. I think S tier is just too much. But yeah, great experiences in Macedonia. If you've ever met a Macedonian, I'm sure you've had a good time. Yeah, they're cool. Now we come to Turkey. The only experience I've had in Turkey is organizing a training camp there. I did that with Dragan Solak, and Dragan's a great guy. I mean, he's actually Serbian ethnicity. But yeah, Dragan has his hotel. It's called Caissa Hotel. I can look it up very quickly. I'm getting so hungry, guys. I actually need to eat, and I really want my Thai food. But I will wrap this up. So you can find it on TripAdvisor. It's basically a normal hotel during the year, but it's actually in the off season, it's a chess kind of academy of sorts where there are training camps, tournaments, and it's a really great place because you get the restaurant downstairs. It's a vibe. It's a little bit quiet. It's a little bit away from any big city. They say it's in Izmir. Okay, it's not quite in Izmir. You have to do a bit of traveling, a bit of logistics. But once you're there, okay, it's really relaxing. Tavin says Dragon is a legend. You know Dragon, Tavin? That's awesome. How do you know Dragon? And also welcome Tavin to the stream. I haven't seen you here before. And welcome Gloin. And welcome Jan. Good to see you, Gloin. I haven't seen you here for a while. But yeah, the camp was really fun. It's also got this kind of Balkan vibe of just going with the flow. And just we train from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. every day. And yeah, again, Turkey really has its own style. It really does have its own school of chess. I think this is also probably a prerequisite of a country having a chess scene in S tier. I think you really need to have a real school of chess. I really think Turkey has that. I think Turkey is blowing up in terms of its chess. I think it's really, really a vibe. And yeah, what Dragon was saying was basically nowadays in Turkey, you really, the kids and the culture, it's almost like soccer, football. Why did I say soccer? Oh my god. I think I was thinking in terms of what Dragon was saying, and maybe Dragon said soccer. I don't know. But anyway, football. God, Jesus, I'm hungry. I'm really hungry. So yeah, basically, as big as football, right? In Turkey, chess is really, really hype. And I also think chess, it's really up and coming. They've got some top juniors. They're really seshing it. There's really some love. There's really some ideology and philosophy behind the way they train chess. And everything I've seen of Turkey is just amazing. I mean, the food is great, the chess is great, and they even have a chess league that I think is getting to the point of competing with the Czech Bundesliga. I really think the Turkish league is getting a lot of hype. It's attracting a lot of players. You know what? I wasn't planning to put it in S tier, but what can I say negative about this place? I mean, it's got everything to be S tier country for chess. So Turkey gets S tier. I wasn't expecting it, but there we go. Tavin says, I am Turkish. Okay. Well, there you go, Tavin. S tier for Turkey. He loves playing Paracin. Oh, yeah. Dragon is a great strategical player. You really can learn a lot from him. I learned so much about the Spanish, exchange Spanish from Dragon. Okay, moving on. So we now talk about Prague. And Prague, I played the Summer Prague Open. And yeah, this was with some friends. I guess what happens in Prague stays in Prague. Let's leave it at that. But okay, no, the chess was really nice. I really liked how the Summer Prague Festival, it's kind of like a circuit. You can kind of go from one tournament to the next. This is a very nice idea. And also, you have some mascots. I really found the mascots for the Summer Prague Open very cute. I didn't buy any because obviously I literally am traveling a whole year just with this IKEA bag. I don't have any other suitcase, no other belongings. I travel very light. So, yeah, basically, I didn't have space for a mascot, otherwise I would buy one. And yeah, basically, it was a good tournament. But at the same time, Prague, I mean, compared to Belgrade, compared to Serbia, as a kind of this kind of area of Europe, right? Definitely doesn't have the vibes. I feel if anything, it's a little bit more like Croatia in terms of how kind of, I almost want to say boring in terms of the kind of experience was and the vibe I got from the people. A little bit more rigid, I would say. Definitely not the Balkan kind of vibes that I know and love. In fairness to Prague, I've only been, in fairness to Czech Republic, I've only been to Prague. And actually, in fairness to Croatia, I've never been to Split. I've never been to anywhere else in Croatia. So I'm only really saying about Zagreb. I'm only really saying about Prague. And to be honest, for me, the chess tournament was very well run. I really liked it. But don't really know much about the chess scene. Can't really say too much negative about it. C tier for Prague. And okay, that brings me to Norway. And Norway, if you haven't seen this Oslo vlog of mine, I mean, this was one of my favorite videos. Actually, no, that's a lie. I mean, it was a good video. It's not my favorite, but it's a good video. Really nice content of the Good Night Bar and the kind of chess scene I experienced in Norway. And in terms of legends, oh my god, everyone I met In Norway, in Oslo, absolute legends. I mean, like, I don't know how to describe it, but I feel like Norway is a very nerdy place. When you think of like the kind of Norwegians, like they're just a bit goofy. I mean, like think of like Erling Haaland. Like if you've watched any of his interviews for Man City, they're hilarious. Even Carlsen's he's got so much personality, right? Like he's really a cool guy, but also he's a little bit nerdy as well. But he revels in that, right? And I feel like the Norwegians, all of the guys I met there, I wish I could stay in touch with them more because I haven't really stayed in touch with any of the Norwegian guys except for one guy, but even him, like we're kind of like on and off. Like we have a nice chat every like few months. Sebastian, in case he's watching. But yeah, no, everyone I met, really friendly people. And the chess scene, oh my god, at the Goodnight Bar. If I lived in Oslo and I could go to the Goodnight Bar like every other day, I genuinely think I would be getting close to like 2300 in terms of level. Because those few days that I was in the Goodnight Bar, just playing Blitz, every other person I'm playing like some 2200, 2300. And I could feel by the end of the trip, my level was so much stronger. I really felt inspired, and the people there, the chess community there, vibes, absolute vibes. And even if they don't have the same kind of league infrastructure that the UK or maybe Belgium or Germany might have, they still do. I know that for a fact. They have like a local league, but it gets S tier from me. It really gets S tier. I've really never experienced such a chess experience in Norway. It really tops all of the other experiences in terms of like that experience of a Goodnight Bar. Like, oh my god! Like for any chess player, you have to visit. It's like and you go for a tournament. You go for the FIDE tournaments. You just join in and you'll have a good time. So Norway S tier for chess. Not to mention, okay, you've got Magnus as such an icon. It really elevates the vibe. Like people really feel it. And now we move on to my most recent ventures, which is in Asia. So far I've only been to Malaysia and Thailand. And where to put these? So Malaysia, first of all, both Malaysia and Thailand have very new kind of chess communities. Like they don't have the kind of history that some of these European countries do. But yeah, Malaysia has an amazing Blitz community. Like really, like I've joined some groups here and there, group chats or whatever. The WhatsApp group chat for Malaysia Blitz is buzzing. Like it's always active. There's always notifications. I'm always reading it because it's actually kind of interesting and fun to follow. And yeah, there's a real community in Malaysia for chess. And I would say that what it lacks is perhaps like maybe the kind of like league system that develops stronger players in terms of like, classical games. Kind of you're more having like these Blitz rapid tournaments like I guess every other week in Kuala Lumpur, the capital. It's kind of a vibe, right? But yeah, I think like unfortunately it's still very up and coming, right? So you need like some kind of history, some kind of stronger players with a lot of experience to kind of like weave their fingers into producing like a really great chess community. And I think like if they had the kind of expertise as, let's say, the kind of players who are organizing the Good Night Club in the Norwegian chess scene, or even like the experience of, let's say, Dragan Solak in Turkey, then I think Malaysia could be an amazing place because it's really got the enthusiasm. But for chess, I mean, to be fair, the chess tournaments I played in were absolutely phenomenally well run and extremely cheap and affordable for players to play. You know what? I think it gets the A tier. I think it gets the A tier for Malaysia. Really impressive. Really impressive. That's my experience. And now we come on to Thailand. And Thailand, I've had such a good time. Like, I've been living in Bangkok. There's the Bangkok Chess Club, the Red Knight Chess Club, the Red Knight Chess Cafe, which is newly opened. I mean, the reason why it's working so well is because it has that experience. I mean, you've got Riste Menkinovsky from Macedonia, who, has definitely, like, put a lot of real love and time and attention into trying to build this community in Thailand. And it really shows, right? So I think like Thailand, it's really developed a very nice chess community. I think that it doesn't have enough. It's definitely not S tier because I mean, like you don't have again enough of the history, enough of the experience, enough of the absolutely enthusiastic, crazy, nerdy, brilliant people that let's say Norway has. But it's definitely really, really promising. And oh man, I want to put it in A or B. I mean, in terms of vibes, in terms of the people I've met, it's really A tier. It's really A tier. But have I seen enough to really grant it an A tier chess place to be? I mean, you get like the weekly tournaments. Not all of them are rated. I think it needs another few years. I'm gonna be harsh and I'm gonna put it in B because I mean, if Germany is in B, then I think it's kind of like similar overall as Germany. I think like it needs a few more enthusiastic people. It's got some very small bubbles that are really fun. I mean, oh man, like I mean, my friendship group here in Bangkok, I really love it. I really love them. Right? They're a really great bunch of people, and it's really fun. But how does like is this a true reflection of like chess as a whole in Thailand? Of course not, right? It's just one small group of friends. So I'd say it's got potential, real potential. I mean, I think Ariste has done a great job with Shil, his wife. And yeah, of course, like as well, I should shout out the junior tournament I helped arbitrate at. Top tier. But this is also because it's got Riste at the forefront of this, like showcasing this, like, you know, it's got the roots of like the Serbian chess or the Macedonian chess, like really well run tournaments. So yeah, B tier for Thailand. And finally, then I need to rush because I want to get that food. Did I miss any photos here? Oh yeah, this was the Malaysian tournament where I managed to win a team championship. This absolutely one of my highlights of the year, highlights of the last decade, for God's sake. Like winning this as an underdog team of like 16 and 1700s. Okay, I was a 2000, but 16 and 1700s, beating all of these prodigies and beating these titled players. It was a thing of dreams. Like the biggest underdog story ever. It was fantastic. So great. And yeah, like this is like the community in the Bangkok chess. This is Adrian. This is Pepe. Big shout out to these guys. And yeah, just having a great time at the bar and yeah, like Thailand has really been great as well. But this leaves us with England. And for me, I mean, you know, I've grown up in England chess. Like, you know, as I said, I only ever traveled abroad for chess when I was like 14 years old to Latvia. Otherwise, you know, first 4 years of my chess development was in the UK. Obviously, I went to university in the UK, school in the UK. So I have a lot to talk about in the UK. And I mean, in terms of chess, there are some absolutely atrocious things happening. There have also been some atrocious experiences happening. But in terms of like the kind of history of some of the tournaments, in terms of like the league infrastructure and how you can have some small group of villages and there's still a bustling chess scene because there's like some integral chess leagues that have like been there for like decades and decades. And chess is definitely big in the UK. I mean, it's definitely not S tier, unfortunately, because there's all of this shithousery that takes place. And also, let's say like the junior development is just crap compared to like Turkey or the US. But in terms of its like culture, I think it's really got a lot. And I think that's why it's like either A or B. But I think it's an A. I think it's an A tier country for chess. I mean, like in London, there's also these like newer kind of street chess kind of vibes that happens. I mean, the clubs really have a lot of culture, a lot of them. And it's really a vibe. Like when I think about where in the world I would like to live. Okay, if I could live in Oslo and play with a good night. I mean, if anyone from Oslo chess community is watching this video and wants us to sponsor me a work visa, please get in touch. I will work for pennies if I can get a work visa and live in Oslo. But no, I mean like when I think about where in the world I would love to live. I mean, one of the places that comes to mind is Liverpool. Like the Liverpool chess scene is absolutely bustling. I mean, I've got some friends there. Dylan, actually, from Chess Lifestyle, he's been living there 2-3 years, maybe more. And why does he choose Liverpool? Dylan is also a very international person. He works with Chessable. He could live anywhere in the world. But he chooses Liverpool because it's a great city and they have an amazing chess scene. And to be honest, I'm almost tempted to, like, after this year, to go live in Liverpool because it's really a vibe. So there's a lot of like great like hubs for chess. A lot of great players as well from the UK, and a lot of great experiences and memories playing chess in the UK. So for that reason, it gets an A tier. But in reasons I won't get into, there are a lot of things bad about chess in the UK. And also just completely lacking in terms of its comparison to a lot of these other countries. So here is the ranking list of 20 odd countries that I have visited in my chess playing career. I hope you guys found that interesting. In terms of like a best country tier list, obviously this isn't in terms of like, everything, and not in terms of just like the strength of the players. Obviously, I haven't included countries like India that would deserve to be on such a list if that were the case. This is just my personal experience of visiting these countries, experiencing the scene. And if any of you have ever wondered what the scene is like, this is kind of my experience of it. So I wanted to make this video at some point, and I thought making it a stream might be a bit more fun for you guys than just a video. So on that note, guys, I'm going to get a patseyil, a chicken patseyil, and I'm going to get, how do you say it? It's a mu krop prick pow. Mu krop prick pow. It's like this belly pork rice dish, which is absolutely slaps. So I'm absolutely starving. I'm gonna rush over there now. I hope that I make the last order and stuff myself. So on that note, guys, thank you for tuning in. Wednesday gonna be a no chess training stream because I'm gonna be in Chiang Mai living a bit of a hippie life with some hippie friends. And then I will be back in Bangkok for Friday stream where we will restart our chess training because I will have a FIDE Rapid and possibly even a FIDE Blitz in a couple weeks time. So on that note, guys, adios.